Okay, welcome to chapter 4, Inbox Zero. So in chapter 3, we talked about getting things done, and I think I didn't connect my headset properly when I started the loom. That's why the sound is that's bad in chapter 3. But my headset's probably connected now. Connect with your headset. That would be really nice. So in Inbox Zero, it says we're always deluged with daily inbox messages every now and then. You have WhatsApp, you have Slack, and so on and so forth. So hundreds of messages are coming into your Slack, hundreds of messages are coming into your mailbox, and hundreds of messages are also coming into your WhatsApp. That's a lot of information requiring your attention. So you want to prioritize and deal with it in a urgent way slash not just urgent way, but you want to deal with it in a way that's systematic. So for example, when we were looking at getting things done, I said some of these items are labels that we also use in Inbox Zero in managing an inbox. So an executive assistant could easily go from a 1,000 email box into a 1,000 unread email box to a one unread message or even zero unread messages in about a month. Or sometimes people can give more harder deadlines like do 1,000 in a week and so on and so forth. But the entire point is, I hope it's not really like that, but you know, these days the pressure is very high on excellence and then output. So they give you like very tiny time to get excellent work done. But I've heard somebody, I think someone has said that they've done 10,000, they've handled the 10,000 email box in like 6 months. So the only way you get into that kind of situation is if you allow your email box to pile up. Um, but if you want to avoid that kind of thing, especially for your executive, for me being someone in operations slash an executive assistant, the best way to do that is to operate with an inbox zero mindset. That is to say, messages when they come in should be sorted out, responded to within 24 hours, and all messages, that is, whether it's coming in through WhatsApp. I usually attend to my WhatsApp messages within 24 hours, unless, of course, it's coming from someone that I do not feel beholden to prioritize, and then I can leave it out of my 24-hour window and then attend to it later. But I always work with a 24-hour window. And for my mailbox, I check my mailbox every day, and I currently have an inbox error system on my mailbox. So I have just three classifications. I have receipts, I have account, and then I have subscription. And the only reason I have subscription is because there are some subscription emails that come in, and I feel it's valuable thing that I should preserve and maybe take a look at again later. That's the only way they manage to survive in my inbox. But usually, everything that comes in from a subscription account, even the ones that I read, go straight into my trash. And I read my trash. I open my trash box every day in my email, and I take a look at the content in my trash box. I read the ones that are good and select which ones to keep, and then allow the other ones to just go out in time. So because many of the subscription emails are just adverts, right? So you have to create an inbox system that helps you to stay uh, on top of everything. So it says the reason we want to do that is if you do not have an inbox zero system, you risk missing time sensitive messages. And you don't want to be the kind of person who missed a sales opportunity because you did not check your inbox. It's going to be very painful both for you and for your executive. So think of your combined inboxes as a single triage room at a hospital. So it's critical to notice that the urgent cases, it's critical to notice the urgent cases immediately. That's the point. To notice urgent cases immediately and then get them in to see a doctor now. Okay. So to do so, you must keep the triage room clear. So there's a place called the triage room, right? That's the first point, like the first point for most emergency cases, or like the emergency room. I think it's the same thing for emergency room, but let's confirm that. Let's ask Google what is a triage room. So yeah, a triage room is a designated space, often near an emergency department entrance, where medical staff perform an initial assessment to sort and prioritize patients based on the severity of their condition. So it is next to the emergency room, but all others just go into the triage room, and then you get in there, they sort you and they prioritize you. So in the triage room is different from a a um a waiting room. So the triage room it has to be like next to the emergency department entrance. Okay, is often near. Okay, so you do not want someone who is just there to visit to be waiting in the triage room as someone who comes in with a stab wound, because the person who comes in with a stab wound is just going to stay there and bleed and die because you have everything mixed up. But if the triage room is only for triage rated cases, like it's only for that purpose, to triage, that is to sort, to prioritize, to urgently prioritize and to sort patients as they come in, then it means that as people come in and you sort them, you prioritize them, you move them out to the respective section in the hospital. And it says to be efficient, you must do the same thing with your inbox. This means addressing all the urgent cases right away and maintaining inbox zero every day. If you check your email incessantly, multiple times an hour, you're wasting hours of productivity. Instead, batch your time and clean out your entire inbox at those times. So you want to have like maybe an hour or two to take a look at inboxes. I recommend checking your inbox only twice a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Each time, follow this process. So what's the process? A 3 point process. It says if the email slash message takes less than 2 minutes, he already said this. We said it in chapter 3. If it takes less than 2 minutes, we want to do it immediately. Second point, if it takes more than 2 minutes, write it down as next action for it according to the getting things done methodology. Remember, in getting things done, we have 7 items. Let's just go back to take a look at the 7 items. You have action items, you have waiting, and then you have someday, you have agenda, you have projects. Remember the difference between agenda list and project is a collection of next actions. Then agenda is a collection of observations or things that you should communicate or talk about. Then you have review, which reviews the projects, and then you have goals. Goals are things for the future, like your vision board, and then you measure it by your quarterly OKRs. So those labels that you have there, that's what you want to use that next action to attend to anything that will take you longer than 2 minutes. Okay, so it then says and then place the email in its correct location. So if it's not the next action item, put it in waiting for, in someday slash maybe, or in reference. So the best way that I have found to do this when using Gmail is to read and implement Andreas Klinger's iconic blog post on GTD in Gmail. So let us highlight this. This guy says iconic blog post. So this is a very strong recommendation, okay, from someone like Mochary, iconic blog post. So we have to take a look at that. And in it, Andreas explains how to use Gmail's multiple inbox feature to create an inbox for next action, waiting for someday slash maybe, and reference. You can set the system up in 15 minutes. Yeah, it's that simple to set it up. I know how to do this, so that's why I'm not opening the blog post immediately, but you can take a look at this blog post. Maybe someday I'll do a short video on Inbox Zero, but there are already lots of YouTube videos on doing inbox zero. So that's really not a burning desire for us right now. We want to continue to build the mindset for for finishing this book and then for being the kind of executive partner that we want to be for other CEOs. So number 3, it then says repeat until you get to inbox zero. If you have a 10,000 inbox or 1,000 email inbox that you haven't read, if you are truly fearless, you can get to inbox zero within the hour. Yeah. It says here, yes, even if you have 1,000 of emails in your inbox right now, you can get to inbox zero within the hour. So for example, in your Gmail, if you use a filter for the word subscription, and of these 1,000 emails that are unread, if over 500 of them are have the word subscription or are subscription emails, that automatically means that if you filtered for the word subscription and then you tick it as read, okay, or you tick it as delete, then you simply drop down to like 500 of unread messages in less than a minute, right? Then the remaining 500, you can then take a look at where they belong to and classify them into action points or into someday or into maybe. So 1,000, you can do 1,000 in an hour. So wow, I was thinking 1,000 should be like for a week, but yeah, it is for an hour. Okay, then okay, that is in the events that you have high subscription emails. But if you do not have high subscription emails, well, the only way you're going to get to 1,000 is if you're a famous person and then you have like fan mails, or you have a business email and then you have customers sending feedback emails and so on. That's the way you get a thousand of ultra like important emails that you cannot simply just automate with one keyword. Okay. For example, if you use the word keyword, the customer to filter, and you just do customer, and of this 1,000, you have like 900 that contain the word customer. Where are you going to classify that? If you eventually classify that under customer service, then or that's CX, inevitably you still have to read to know what the feedback is or what your customer emails are. So that's the mindset here, but it's as good as having 1,000 and then coming to inbox zero within an hour, especially if you are high on such emails as subscription emails. Otherwise, you then have to read each email and then classify them. But then it's still possible to get from thousands of emails to inbox zero in a matter of this, if properly implemented and the keywords are accurate within the system you create. So in the next video, we're going to have chapter 5, which is about top goal.